the line's frozen, but I can't get it down here till it thaws out.
Hey, Carolyn. Good. How you doing?
Good. We see each other everywhere now.
Good to see you. I know.
Yeah. We're at the right place.
I know. They're real sugar pushers here. Oh my God, they're pushing waffles and sugar and snow and candy and donuts.
This is yummy sugar.
Fresh batch of corn?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get one of those.
Definitely help yourself. This is the best batch too because
really?
The earlier ones were really sticky. But this one, 237 seemed to be the right temperature.
Okay.
And nice and
I got it
soft
documented. 237.
237.
240.
Nice.
Yeah, looks like somebody needs a refill.
Yes, we do. We dropped our fork.
It's going to last, so we ended up having to put new membranes in the machine. Not an expense that I anticipated on, and then of course with the poor year last year, it really kind of hurt to have that other pre-expense.
Dean, what was the temperature on that syrup?
246. 246 on the popcorn.
And then you drizzle it on top of you have a candy thermometer? That's all you need is candy thermometer. You syrup up to 246. It's all ready. Just pour it, drizzle it.
What we're doing is that you can test it.
Is that to make a form?
Yep. Stand back. I'm going to get your picture. Guys, face me.
Spencer!
Spencer, look at me. Spencer, look at me. Jasmine, look at me.
Sugar. What are you gonna eat first?
Yeah, this right in there. They usually cool it pretty quick.
So what's the name of the
That's when you OD on sugar. You need a little.
Oh, is that what it is?
To cleanse your palate, it basically we have different varieties of syrup out here. They set your taste buds basically.
You went for the boil, don't you?
I do, yeah.
I know you from the corn. Yeah. I think I've loaded up 20 patients for you in the past.
That's why I use it for demonstration. It's not the wood, it's actually making money. Comes into a main line. Main lines get bigger until they come into the pump room. We got two 1-inch and an 1.5-inch that goes into the pump room. This is our representative sap container of the 40 gallons. It takes 8 gallons of syrup.
Probably will be able to drink it now.
As we cap, we try not to get the holes to pull together because you created a dead spot in the tree, and if we get these too far overlap, if, like for instance, this is on the inside of the tree, and if I were to cap right here, I would hit this spot, and if that was the case, when I pull the spout, it gives it a pretty deep hole for bacteria to get into to start it rotting.
Yep.
Tap every year then?
Yes, you have to tap it every year because what happens is, that's kind of why the season ends, is this process of, you know, like if you get a cut, your blood coagulates, so you don't bleed to death.
Yep.
Well, this is kind of similar to that. The tree starts to wall off this injury, and it's sort of a coagulation process, and this dark wood is no longer conducts sap.
Yep.
It's just structurally, as long as it's not rotten, it's just structurally supportive for the tree.
So it's coming up the fibers, whatever, it gets to here, kind of.
That's our control center. It's actually a company, but I like to call it the control center because there's a lot goes on in here. This is the vacuum pump applying the vacuum to the canisters that transfers out to the lines. These two green lines and this line is incoming sap. Comes into these canisters. Now you go to another sugar house, they'll have some other kind of catch thing for the sap, but they're all set up basically the same way. The sap comes from the woods, goes into some sort of a containment, and they either have one like this where it's pumped out, or what they call mechanical releasers that are over the tank. And what happens is that it's like two chambers, and so the sap, once the sap gets high enough on one side, it switches and vents, and the sap dumps over here and starts accumulating over here, and then when it accumulates over here, it switches back, and it just switches back. We started on this in 500 taps in 1986.
So what's the business I see with all of the hoses starting to freeze now?
That's pretty much how it's done. There's very few people that use buckets anymore.
And it's going to affect the taste, but you reheat it, and in fact it says right on the container that you can reheat the syrup.
I'm gonna scoot by you
No
here.
problem.
It will be satisfactory.
Kelly.
But if you want it to not happen, to start with, there's two things that you do. Start with, you heat it up to 185 to 90 degrees, put it in the container, put it on a sealed, cap it up, it's done. Put that container in the freezer, and it's going to keep almost indefinitely. If you put it on the shelf in a cool place, it will keep for maybe a couple of years. No real serious effect on it. If you keep it out in the hot sun, it'll blow up in 3 months. You know, these are all things that you know. It's like it's food that reacts that way. But these are all what people learn. Now, they call us sugar makers because back when they first started in this industry, what they did was they weren't making syrup, they were making sugar. And they would boil it until basically they could have a product that would still flow and run it off into a container. And when you let it set, there's a couple things you can do. You can hang a cotton string in it and the moisture will wick out, and it'll grow crystals. We had some here yesterday that we were giving away. But the crystals, it makes like a clear rock candy. So nowadays they use those skewer sticks, those wooden skewer sticks. Any sugar will do that. And it'll grow those crystals, and that'll be a clear sugar. That's mostly sucrose. Now if you have glucose, that's where your flavors come in. And that's the color and the brownness that you have from the sugar making process. Now, if you end up with something that is going to keep, which is what they used to call tub sugar, is you have a container and you just let it set. It depends on the outside humidity, but typically the stuff will harden over and go into like a solid lump. And you could spoon it off, it would be fairly soft at times. But the whole idea was, back when they did this process before they had refrigeration, that's how they had things that would keep. You either dry it, or you put some kind of preservative to it. In the case of sugar, you get rid of the water, it'll keep.
Look at this one. It's not.
Well, you gotta take it out of the plastic, man. You can't give them the plastic. That'll be a problem.
Yep.
Give him right here. He's looking for some. These guys.
These guys are impolite.
Impolite. They say please. I swear I heard that one say please. Please? Donut, please? Come on, give him a donut. There you go. See?
I can see baby. Oh my god.
The plastic jugs, they're not 100%.